Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Amber and this is my first video. I'm very excited and nervous about it. I decided to do this festival look because there's a lot of festivals coming up. Coachella's ended, but there's a lot of festivals coming up in Ireland soon. So I decided to do this festival inspired look just to maybe inspire you. I hope you like this video. If you do, hopefully you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As I'm making this video right now, I have 0 subscribers, so I'd like maybe even one. One would definitely be an improvement. So I'm gonna get started with the video. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it and leave me a comment below if you do. And yeah, so let's just get started on the video. Okay, cool. So moving on to primer. I already have moisturizer on. I use the number 7 Beautiful Skin moisturizer for dry skin, and then for primer I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer. Quite silicone-y, but I like a silicone based primer, but I put a different primer on my forehead. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's oil free and it like blurs out any fine line, and I'll also put it on my nose and a little bit under my eyes just for the like fine lines under my eyes. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation. I have mine in the shade Porcelain. It's quite dewy, which I'm not mad about. I do prefer like a matte foundation. Even though I have dry skin, I think it's because I wear glasses. I like my foundation to be really set under my eyes and like where my glasses touch my face, because I feel like my foundation just comes off too easily. So I'm just gonna dot this on all over my face. So I'm gonna be mixing the LA Girl Pro Coverage one with the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, and I have mine in the shade 02 Natural. This is a really nice foundation too. It's definitely full coverage, which I really like, and it is a matte finish as well, which I also really like. So I mix them two because I like the dewiness from the LA Girl one, but I like the coverage from the Milani one. I'm just going to blend all that in with my beauty blender. I love this to blend in my foundation. I think it's really nice. It like it doesn't soak up too much product, but it still blends your foundation out really nicely. I also really like the Real Techniques, the orange sponge. I think that's really good too. You can see I'm still like a little bit shiny, but I'm gonna set that anyway. So moving on to brows next, my favorite part. So for my brows I use the Deep Dark Brunette Brow Gel Creme from MAC. I'm gonna use a little angled brush as well, so I'm just gonna zoom you in. So I just tend to like sketch out my brow like that, and then I will get my flat brush like this, and I will get my foundation, whichever foundation, it doesn't really matter, and I'll just carve out underneath the brow. what my brows tend to look like. I'm gonna go and do my other brow off camera just because I'm basically doing the exact same thing. So I will be right back after I'm finished doing my other brow. So I'm gonna move on to my eyes now. So to prime my eyes, I'm gonna use the Kiko Pearly eye base. It's quite like shimmery of a primer. So you just put a little bit on and it gives you like a kind of like a shiny base for your eyeshadow. Second thing I go in with is my MAC paint pot in Painterly. It's like a cream eyeshadow. Well, that is what it is, it's cream eyeshadow, but I just use it to neutralize the color on my lid. So moving on to eyeballs. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I know I want to do a festival look, but I'm not really sure what eye look I want to do. I think I want to do like a purpley, silvery spotlight eye. I haven't done one in a while and I have some like purple shadows to use, so I'm just gonna go with it and see what happens. So I tend to use like a neutral shade of shadow to set the primer on my lid and create like a nice smooth surface for shadow. Now, so I'm gonna go in with a transition shade into my crease. So a transition shade can be like any shade you want, like to match in with your look. Like you don't even really see it that much. It just adds like a little bit of depth and just like starts like a contour on your eye, so you know where you're going from there. So I tend to use just a brown shade most of the time. I'm just gonna get that on a fluffy brush and I'm just gonna put that into the crease of my eye. So I'm gonna go in with a light pink transition shade. This is just a base for the colors that I'm gonna put on later. I'm gonna start with a light color and then build up and build up and build up. So this is just a baby pink shade. It's actually 359 from Inglot. So I'm just building that up. Building it up and building it up. You can't even really see it. Like you can't see that it's anything really. It'll help to blend your darker colors out. So now we're moving into the darker part of the look. So I'm going to take this shade Delirious from the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette and I'm going to pop that into the crease as well. Cool, so I've just done the same thing on this side as well. So now I'm gonna pack down my main outer and inner corner color. So for that I'm gonna be using the Inglot shade 297. It's from the What a Spice collection, which I'm not sure if you can still get anymore, but if I can find it, I'll link it down below. It's really nice. So I'm just going to pack that on the outer corner. With a flat just a flat shader brush. Just gonna pack that on the outer corner, and I'm gonna get another little bit and pack it on the inner corner. So you should have something like this before it's blended out. So I'm just gonna start blending that out now. I'm just building up that second Inglot shade. I'm just building that up, just getting it to the intensity that I want, building it up and blending it out. That's basically the key to a nice eyeshadow look. So now I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and I'm just going to blend that out at the edges, just so there's no like harsh lines or anything. Cool, so I'm just going to hop on over and do the other eye. I'm also going to go in with a little bit of a loose purple shadow I have. Cool. So now I'm going to move on to the center of the lid color. I'm going to be using the Inglot Pure Pigment Shadow in the shade 111. It's just a loose pigment, so I'm going to be using that, but I'm also going to be mixing it with MAC pigment in Kitschmas. I'm not sure if this was like limited edition Christmas thing or something, but if I can find it, I'll link it below. And I'm also going to mix in a little bit of MAC Reflex Pearl just in the very center, just to like give it a white brightening to it. So that's what I'm going to do now. to adhere the pigments on the like loose pigments to the center of my eye, I'm going to use a little bit of Duraline from Inglot. You can use duo glue either if you want. I tend to go between the two, but I think with duo glue sometimes it can get a bit chunky, so I'm just going to stick with Duraline for today. So I just pop a little bit of Duraline on my brush and just put it right in the center of my eye. So I'm going to go in with the Inglot pigment now. Cool, so that's just the Inglot pigment on its own. So I'm going to go and do the other side. Cool, so that's just the Inglot pigment on its own. I'm just going to put a bit of the MAC one over it now. I'll just put a little bit more Duraline on my brush. And I'll put the MAC pigment in Kitschmas over it. So the MAC pigment didn't really do a whole lot over the Inglot one. This is it on this side with the MAC one over it, and this is it on the other side with which is the Inglot on its own. I don't think it adds much to the look. It's a bit more purple, but I don't think it adds a lot. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the MAC Reflex Pearl right in the very center, and I'll see if this adds anything extra. So I feel like that definitely added something. Definitely brightened it up a little bit more. Added a bit more of a silver slash whiteness to the eye look, which I actually really like. So if you're doing this at home, I would say skip on the MAC pigment in Kitschmas. I don't think you need it. I don't think it added anything extra to the look. But definitely the Inglot pigment in 111 and the MAC Reflex Pearl right in the center. So now I'm going to go on and do my eyeliner. So I'm going to use the Inglot AMC Gel Liner in number 77 on my Inglot 31T angled brush. Cool, so I just did like a simple little liner on my eye. So I'm just going to leave it at that for my eyeliner. I'm just going to do this side. So my eyeliner is done, and now I'm going to do my under eye concealer. So I just have a cotton pad here and I'm just going to wipe off just under my eye in case I got any like fallout or anything from the glitters. So I'm just going to wipe that off just in case. So now that we're done with the eyes, well, we're not done with them, but we're done with them for now. I'm just gonna conceal under my eyes, so I'm gonna use the liquid Camouflage concealer from Catrice. I'm just gonna draw the lines under my eyes. I really like this concealer. It's very lightweight, and you don't really feel it under your eyes, which I quite like. So I'm also gonna mix another concealer with that. I'm gonna be mixing that with shade 1 from the Sosu contour kit. I really like this contour kit and I really like shade 1 from it. It's really brightening and it's really hydrating. It's not like a dry concealer. So I like mixing concealers in with that, especially if I'm going out, I'll use that. Sometimes I just use it on its own, but today I just mixed it. It's really nice and it's really easy to blend out. I do really like this concealer. So I'm just gonna like dot it on with this little small fluffy brush, and I'm gonna do a bit on my nose, a bit in the center of my forehead, and then a little bit on my chin. And I'm gonna blend all that out with my beauty blender. Cool, so now that I've blended that out, I'm gonna set it. So I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, and I'm gonna use that to set under my eyes. I'm gonna use it with my damp sponge as well. So to set the rest of my face, I'm just going to be using my MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NC20, and I'm just going to use that with a small fluffy brush, and I'm just going to set the rest of my face. I do tend to put it under my eyes as well, even though they're already set, because it just adds a little bit of colour, which I like. So I just like lightly set the rest of my face. So now my face is set, I'm just gonna contour my cheeks. So I'm gonna use shade 6 from the Sosu contour palette on an angled brush, and I'm just gonna contour my cheeks. And I want to highlight. So for highlight, I'm going to be using 2 different highlights. I'm going to be using the Catrice Light Infusion highlighter. It's quite a sheer highlight, as you'll be able to see when I put it on. It's not very blinding or anything, and it's more of a natural highlight, so I like to use it as like a base highlight. So now for more of a blinding highlight, I'm going to go in with the Inglot Sparkle Dust in the shade 01. I'm also going to go in with a small fluffy eyeshadow brush because this highlight is really blinding and I only like to put it on the very tops of my cheekbones, so I like to use a little brush. Perfect, so now that we're highlighted, we can move back to eyes. So back to my eyes, and I'm going to use a small fluffy brush to blend out this purple shade under my eyes. So I'm going to highlight my brow bone and my inner corner with the same Inglot Sparkle Dust. So now the fun part, I'm going to add some glitters under my eyes in like the teardrops. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I have two different glitters that I'm going to be mixing together. They're both from Jazzy Glitters on Etsy. She also has an Instagram page. I'll link that below so you can check it out. I know they have names. I think one of them is Twilight. I'm not sure what the other one is. I'll put the name of the two that I use down below because they just come in like little custom pots. So they don't have names or anything on them. So I'll link the two that I got down below, and I'll link her Etsy shop and her Instagram down below. So I'm just going to put a little bit of duo glue under my eyes and kind of down in the shape of a tear so I can adhere the glitter to it. And I'm just going to start sticking the glitters on. Cool, so this is what it should look like. You can use any glitter that you want, and you could just use like a pure glitter if you wanted. It's just that I have these. I'm just going to do the same on the other side. So I'm gonna stick on some lashes. Now I'm going to be using the Sosu lashes in the style New York. I absolutely love these lashes. I think they might be my favourite lashes of all time. They're just so full and like 3D, and they just look amazing. I'll link them on our website down below so you can check them out. so now that I have my lashes on, I'm gonna pop on some mascara. I'm gonna be using the Primark Curl Power Mascara. It's only like $1.50 and it's really good. I really like this mascara. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit on my bottom lashes. So now on to the fun decorate part of the look. I'm going to just do some dots and see what happens. So I think the perfect thing for doing the dots, I'm going to do some above my brows and I don't know where else, is I got this, it's a nail art tool, but it has like the perfect ball on the top for doing, I don't know, designs on your nails, but it's so good at doing the dots. And it does them all like relatively the same size. So if you can get your hands on one of these, I definitely recommend it because it makes doing the dots a lot easier. So this is what I'm going to use to do my dots today. I'm also going to use the Inglot AMC Gel Liner in 77, which is just the white one. So that's what I'm going to use to do the dots on my brows, above my brows, and I don't know, wherever else I feel like doing them. So that's what it should look like now. I'm just gonna do the same on the other side. So I'm going to do one line down the center of my forehead. I'm going to use an angled brush for that. I'm also going to do a line across the middle of my nose. And I actually have these little gems, they're like nail art gems, and I'm just going to stick one right in the middle. So there you have the 3 diamonds in a row, and I think I'm almost finished. I'm just going to do my lip. So for lips, I'm going to use the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in Sagittarius, and this is it here. It's kind of like a purpley grey colour. And to line my lips, I'm going to use the Penny's lip liner in the shade Toffee. I'm just going to line my lips with that. So I'm just going to fill in my lips with the liquid lipstick. have the lines done and my lip done and everything, I'm just going to do like a line down the center of my lip, just with the white gel liner again. I like that. I think I might do a little dot there as well. So let me zoom you out so you can see the final look. So this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I hope to do a lot more videos like this. I really enjoyed myself. Hopefully next time I won't be as stressed or nervous, but I hope you enjoyed this video anyways. You can leave a comment below and tell me what you'd like to see, and I will definitely take that into consideration. I'll leave the rest of my social media links below, my Instagram, Facebook and Snapchat, and you can follow me on them if you want. And I'll also leave links to whatever I said I would and the products that I used. I'll leave that below as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.